What's going on, guys and gals? Stock Jock here, up $1,041 on the day. Nice to get a good start to the month of May being green. That's how I like to start it off. It makes me feel a little bit more confident, and I have money to play with as far as uh, taking trades that I might feel a little hesitant on, knowing I have that cushion, that green cushion. It's not a lot. It can go quick, so I got to be careful, but definitely nice to start out green. So I've been really, really hesitant recently to go long out of the gates, like at 9:30, go long on something because recently, like for the past month, like all of the month of April, anything that popped up seemed to be like a drop. It's going to drop. So I haven't been taking a lot of trades out of the gate. I would wait for maybe 5 minute setups or, just wait till maybe 15 minutes into the day to see what's going on, see how the market's going to act today, because it's been just really unpredictable. A lot of the big chat rooms, a lot of the guys lost money last month. They're still obviously green on the year, but it just goes to show that even the big guys can have red months occasionally. So my first trade was CCCR. This was a chat room trade. Basically, we saw the pop up. This is the 1 minute here. Consolidate, pop up, consolidate, and we were kind of looking for this break here, the 249 level for the break at 250 and move on up. CCCR, this one has been popping up crazy recently. Lots of popping. We were hoping for it to break, 276 and go and see if we can get moving up there, but never got there. But nonetheless, we went long inside this candle looking for the break. I got in at a really good fill at 243. We got the pop up, and I sold at 253 for basically 10 cents on 3,000 shares. So nice win to start the day. AUPH was my next trade. I made 2 cents or cent and a half on this trade. This one was an alert from Luke and Jason Bond picks. Just saw some volume coming into it, and AUPH is a stock that when it can get going, like on the big volume days, it really can make some pretty big moves. So whenever it pops up on our scanners, we always try to play it. And I got in, let's see, 21 right in here. You can kind of see this volume here is from that chat room, the Jason Bond picks chat room. 73,000 shares of volume. It's always good to be on the side of the volume, which way it's pushing. So I went long, got basically 715 fill, and it didn't kind of go anywhere. So I got out at 716 for basically a penny and a half. Uh, I think I made 15 bucks on the trade. So just kind of another trade idea here. When a trade doesn't do what you think it's going to do, we're thinking volume's going to come in, and we're going to keep going up, 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 up as more volume comes in, as it starts hitting other people's scanners. Well, it didn't do that. So for me, I cut the stock loose, move on. And in this case, um, for that moment, it was kind of the good decision. Then out of nowhere, it finally made the move up that we were looking for. But whatever. I made a penny and a half. I didn't lose money. I'm happy. So OCN, this one was halted for news. As you can kind of see, it was kind of up in the morning and then kind of right before this news hit. Or, I'm sorry, this is pre-market, and then right before the news hit, it started dropping off. And the news was this is a company that just got obliterated. It was having like a cease and desist orders from like 24 states or something like that. Really bad news for the company. That's why you see this huge drop. And ASPS and NRZ are companies that move in sympathy of this whole move. That's kind of why you see them here over here in my watch list. But anyway, news comes out. There's a halt. News halt comes out, and the news is that a certain company, NRZ, is buying into the company. They're doing a deal where they're moving around some securities. What was it? I can't remember. But they're moving around some things, and they're also giving a cash infusion to the company, part of the deal, and taking like a 10% stake. All really good things for OCN. So I was looking to go long once this thing opened up, and finally it did. I didn't get the best fill in the world, but I did get filled here. As soon as it opened back up, I got long at 286, 3,000 shares, and I was kind of just sitting here waiting for this thing to open up. It was pretty boring, but it paid off. And I sold inside this first spike here. It broke $3, and I had my finger on the trigger, just waiting. See, my stop loss at that point would be $3, and it was a mental stop. It wasn't a physical stop. As soon as it looked like it was going to crack $3, I was going to get out, and that's what I did. As soon as $3 broke, you can see kind of flushed down back to 286. But I exited at 301, 3,000 shares. What is that? 14-cent win, 3,000 shares. That was a nice win for me, so I was very happy with that. UBS was my next play. I've been trying to do more shorts recently just because the market seems to be favoring short plays. So this one was a news play from Benzing. I heard that UBS was part of three companies that were being subpoenaed for something, but subpoena was a big word. I came over here. You see this huge drop, and then it popped back up, and I try to get inside this candle here, try to go short. I got 3,000 shares at 17.12, and it came back down to 17.08, or it came down. I didn't cover down here because I really thought we would go and test this low again. That was really what I was hoping for, and it did not happen. So I covered as we were coming back down inside this candle. 17.08, basically 3.5 cents, 4 cents, something like that. And then I tried it again. We got another pop up at 11.06, pop back up. I was thinking maybe VWAP and then curl back down, but it didn't do that. It broke through the VWAP and held. And I was like, okay, if it breaks, if it looked like it's going to break out to the upside, I'm going to get out. Like I said, if the stock doesn't do what I think it's going to do, I cut it loose. So I took uh, inside this candle right here, I took a 2 cent, 2.5 cent loss. So, basically break even out of both of them. Maybe it made it maybe $30 on the trade, but it could have been way worse. I mean, it's up at 17.20. It's like it didn't react at all to being subpoenaed. So, cut it loose, move on. So OCN was my next trade. I was basically trying to do a candle over candle in the 5 minute. We were inside this candle, looking to break this high right here, which was 93. I went long as it was looking like it was going to do that, and it just did not happen for me. So I went long at 11:10 right here inside this candle. Quick pop up, and then I was just watching the L2, and obviously you can't see what the L2 did here, but it looked like it was going to go back down, so I cut my losses. Actually, I made a penny on the trade, and then it kind of went back down to 286. So uh, the 5 minute play, for some reason, worked here. As you can see, it popped back up, consolidate, and then it worked again right here. I mean, this is a beautiful 5 minute candlestick play that I love to do. Pop up, consolidate, candle over candle right here, pop up, and boom, back. I mean, consolidate and whatever. But it didn't play out over here. I don't know why, but sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't. I still made a penny on it. I was happy, and I tried it again about, I don't know, 30 seconds later, and I ended up losing a penny on it. So I broke even on that trade. Whatever. So NRZ was the company that was doing the deal with OCN, and OCN at this moment was kind of going down. So I was looking at the 5 minute chart of NRZ thinking this was a move in correlation to OCN, and it did for a moment. So I was looking at candle over candle, or candle under candle, excuse me, on the 5 minute chart right here. And as soon as it looked like we were going to break this low, I went short, and I went short at 1676 right at this level, dropped all the way down, and I covered basically right here. I was watching the 1 minute chart at this time to find the point I would cover at. So we kept making new low, new low, new low, and the first time we would go candle over candle on the 1 minute, that was my cue to cover, and it was perfect cue to cover. Covered right here for 10-cent win on 3,000 shares because it just moved back up, and I wouldn't have made money, but now it's back down. So whatever. Well, actually no, it's back up. There it is. So it was a good time to cover. Once I'm green, I just want to stay as green as possible. Candle over candle in the 1 minute tells me that it's going to go potentially back up. So I covered my wins and moved on. True, this one was a news play kind of. A 13G was filed that some company or some hedge fund took a 10% stake in the company. That's a pretty big stake in a $1.5 billion company. So that's $150 million that they took into this. So that's a pretty big stake. Um, so when I heard the news, I went long. It's a you know 84 million share float. So I was hoping to get some kind of movement, but it just didn't go anywhere. I sat in it for basically a minute. That's long enough, and it just didn't do anything for me. So I cut it loose. I think I lost half a cent, a penny on it, 30 bucks. Cut it loose, moved on. So BAC, Bank of America, that was my next trade. This one, I missed the initial move, but Trump was being interviewed by Bloomberg, and he made some comments that he wants to revert our banking system back how it used to be in the olden days, or I don't know how long ago that was, to be honest. But basically, banking, investment banking, and loans, I believe it is, were two separate entities with two separate companies, and he's looking to break up big banks. That was his words verbatim. Well, I played Bank of America, and I'm sure the other banks did the exact same thing at this time. When those comments came out, we went from 23.64, basically, a dollar 30 drop in 1 minute on a 10 billion share float. That is humongous move for this kind of a float. But I didn't get in on this. I was late to the party. So I had to wait for a good entry point, and that happened at 12:56. And I was watching the 1 minute, looking for the bounce and then the next move down. So bounce, move down, and I was watching 1 minute for candle under candle. Uh, did it correlate to? Yeah, the 5 minute actually worked out really well too. Um, I took my entry on the candle under candle. So we went red candle and candle under candle. I went short right here at 23.59, and we dropped down. Again, I was watching the 1 minute chart. I was like, okay, I'm green, 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 green. I'm green now. As soon as we get a 1 minute candle over candle, I'm going to cover. And it looked like other people had the same idea too. So once this broke, we were inside this candle opened up. Once we broke this candle's high, I covered basically 23.51 for an 8 cent win on 3,000 shares. And as you can see, the 5 minute chart, it was beautiful too. Drop down, consolidate, candle under candle in the 5 minute. So you could have played it either way, and it would have worked out really nicely for you. So um, I was really hoping we'd get down here, but just no follow through. I guess the market doesn't believe that Trump is ever going to be able to break up the big banks, and they're probably right. That'd be a pretty big task to do. But regardless, Trump can make moves in the market when he talks. So I suggest everyone have follow him on Twitter. Uh, you know, for follow him whatever social media you can get your hands on that he uses, because when he makes headlines with a statement or whatever, he can move markets and move stocks, and that's exactly what he did with the bank stocks right side this moment here. So nice win, and I did try it again a few minutes later at 13:12 right here. I thought we were going to maybe break VWAP, and it just didn't pan out for me. I did get green on the moment. Let's see, 13:12. So same idea. Try to go candle under candle again. Went short. Went down to 1350 or 2351. I was like, okay, if we break 2350, this thing's going to test this level down here, and we're going to get the move down. It didn't happen. VWAP held. A lot of buying came in, and my stop loss was going to be the high of this area. So we made a higher low. So here's a low, and then we made a higher low. That's a bullish sign, and the pop up here broke this. So we're making higher lows and higher highs. This is definitely a bullish trend here. So I cut it low, I cut it loose for a 2 cent loss, and I made the right call. Currently it's at 23.72. So it did go high a day, it looks like. Yeah, it went high a day after those Trump statements. So, sometimes the market just will move with or without you, or with or without reason too. NSPR, this one was a news play. Benzinga reported, and I believe, yeah, Benzinga reported, and Jason Bombpik's chat room also played this one as well. and basically news came out that they are partnering with some company in Germany, supposedly give their product 50 more hospitals to be used in blah blah blah. It's a 1 million share float company with a $1 million market cap, super super small. So on news, this thing can move, and it did. It got a 10, 15, 20% jump here when the news came out. Um, I didn't get in immediately. I waited for a little bit for a second entry, and my entry was over here. We were kind of hovering around high day, and it looked like we were finally going to break high day, so I went long in here for the high day break. Uh, got in at 79. We got the break, went as high as 82, and I really thought we'd break 82, maybe go 83, 84, and then I was going to sell my shares, but it started coming back down, so I sold for a 1 cent win, 30 bucks. So OCN was my last play that I did. This one, I think it was Piper came out, or Jeffries, I can't remember, came out saying they're upgrading the stock based off of this recent deal that they made with NRZ. So that's a pretty big deal. The stock has been crushed recently, as you can see. Short interest has definitely increased, and when that news came out, boom, you can kind of see the volume down here. 765 shares of volume in 1 minute. I went long, got a quick pop up, started slowing down considerably, so I sold for 2 pennies, 60 bucks. Brought me back over $1,000, so I'm happy on that. Definitely nice to be green first day of the month. So as always, guys, if you have any questions, you can find me on StockTwits or Google Hangouts under the email address stockjockat@gmail.com. I'm here to answer questions. A lot of traders have been joining the chat rooms that I am in that I recommend. You can see those in the description down below, and I hear nothing but good things about their experience. So I always recommend people try them out. They are a great tool, especially for new traders. So you can kind of see what five, six, 700 other people how they trade and bounce ideas off constantly. I'm always looking at my chat rooms to see if someone else sees a stock moving that I just didn't have my eyes on, or if the moderator comes on the mic and says, "Hey guys, look at this," those kind of things are so valuable. I mean, you're hunting as in a pack instead of just being one little fish in a gigantic sea looking for, that next mover, and you might not know why it's moving or who's moving it or whatever. It's just so nice to be a part of. I'm in a few chat rooms, so it's so nice to be part of these groups and trade together and be a part of the community. So I would highly just try it out for a quarter, a month, whatever. Um, I have annual subscriptions to the ones I'm in, as well as annual subscriptions to uh, the new sources I use. So they're so key to me, and there's no way I would be profitable without them. 100% guarantee without the news sources and without the chat rooms. There is zero chance I would be profitable. That's how important it is to me. I was never profitable until I started using both of those. So if you're struggling, if you're losing $200, $300 a trade and you don't know why and whatever, instead of losing that money to the stock market, how about you invest that in one of the chat rooms and try it out? They're really, really a good resource. Anyway, it's enough of the sales pitch. If you have any questions on any of the chat rooms or any of the stocks or my trading style, again, you can contact me. You can also email me through the same email address, which is stockjockat@gmail.com. And I will see you guys in the next video.